In today's episode, we are going to install a drop-in decoder in a Micro-Trains FT Locomotive. Welcome to Humanity Junction, where the city intersects with humans. Ringling Brothers Barnum & Bailey did not own any locomotives. They would just utilize the local railroad companies to pull their rail cars. But MicroTrains has released 6 locomotives in N scale with Ringling Brothers Barnum & Bailey markings. 5 were sold individually and 1 was sold as a set. I have collected the following. The first is decorated with a red nose and colorful sides. This is a MicroTrains FT Locomotive released in May of 2016. Next is a white FP7 locomotive released in June of 2011. There is also a silver version. This locomotive is made by Model Power. From the Big Top series is a 440 steam locomotive released in August of 2011. This locomotive was also made by Model Power. The brown locomotive is from the Billboard series and is an FT locomotive released in February of 2010. This series has 10 boxcars and a caboose, but they were all sold individually. The last locomotive that I own is a part of the Excursion set, which was released in August of 2012. The set consists of a Model Power 282 steam engine, railway post office car, 12-1 sleeper car, and observation car. The Excursion set has a ticket on the inside flap and all of the numbers were unique. I really like the black and gold color scheme of the Excursion set. Before we get to the decoder installation, let's take a look at what I need to convert some of the other locos. The white locomotive is not DCC ready, although they did make a DCC version that included sound. For this locomotive, I'm going to buy an inexpensive motor decoder, a DZ123, and solder it in. The 440 steam locomotive is DCC ready as it has all the wires already run to the tender. They did not include a connector, so I will have to solder this one as well. For the steam locomotives, I'm looking at getting a Digitrax SDXN126PS. Today we are going to install a decoder in the brown locomotive. The first step is to remove the pilot coupler. The FT locomotive was MicroTrains' first N-scale locomotive release. It comes with a split-frame, DCC-ready cast metal chassis. According to information that Mark at Spook Show was able to obtain, the guts are made in China and the shells are added in the US. I own 3 of these locomotives. One has the red nose and the other 2 are brown. I got the first brown one really cheap because it was missing a few parts, the headlight circuit board and the headlight shroud. I used the drop technique in an empty case to take off the shell. The decoder that I am installing is a DN163MO from Digitrax. This decoder was specifically designed to replace the light board on this style locomotive. The next step is to remove the headlight shroud. One thing I am learning through this process is how much force I can apply on an N-scale locomotive without damaging anything. I thought it was really interesting that the original headlamp was orange. I actually like this better than the replacement white LED. The headlight circuit board slides forward and then can be removed. There are 2 metal tabs on the circuit board that contact 2 points on the motor to complete the circuit. I am carefully removing the high-temp Kapton tape so that I can use it on the chassis to isolate the metal tabs on the DCC decoder from the metal chassis. As I go to install the decoder, I realize that I need to notch the Kapton tape on the back of the decoder so that it will slip over the tabs. Once completed, the decoder slides right into the existing tabs. The metal tabs of the decoder need to align and be touching the points on the motor. Next, I reinstall the headlight shroud, again trying to figure out the exact amount of pressure required. I test the locomotive before installing the shell as well as before installing the pilot coupler. The installation of the pilot coupler was by far the most difficult of the processes. And unfortunately, it fell apart on me and I had to put it back together. These parts are really small. Once I installed the pilot coupler, the locomotive did not work anymore. I ended up taking the locomotive apart 3 times. In this case, the decoder board just needed to be reseated, and this time I taped it into place. Now the locomotive runs on DCC exactly as expected. I need to order the decoders for the other locomotives, but I will not be able to do that for a few weeks. I will be posting additional decoder installation videos when they arrive. Thank you for watching. Please leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe and select the bell icon to receive notifications. Thanks again, and have a great day.